Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, African Confessions. So I am back with another message. This message, I've just received it right now on WhatsApp. Let me share with you this message. The message reads like this. Hello, my brother. Can you please hide my identity? As for me, I am a woman who is aged 31. I have suffered so much in this life that I am living. My brother Nashi, I once got married, and when I got married, it was in 2009. So when I got married to this man, when I look back in the past, I can see that this man truly loved me. After we had gotten married, God blessed us with 2 beautiful kids. But our problems started when it was in 2011. When I had my second baby. What happened to me, I cannot even understand. What would happen to me is that beginning in 2011, it was as if the spirit of lust had entered into my heart. What would happen to me is that either I was on the bus, on the taxi, or maybe just walking in the street. If I was to meet a man, even a stranger, whenever I'll come across a stranger, I'll feel that I must have sexual intercourse with that man, even if that man will not have proposed love to me. But in my heart, there was this dark desire, the desire to have sexual intercourse with that man that I would have met in the bus, in the taxi, or in the street. But this dark desire kept on controlling me. Whether I was in the street, whether I was just shopping, I kept on having this desire of having sexual intercourse with different men. I tried so much to control myself when this problem started. But one day, I saw that the feeling that I had in my heart, it was just too much. So what I did is that I went next door. Our neighbor was a man, so I approached that guy. I told him that I had this feeling that I was feeling towards him. Then me and him, we had sexual intercourse. From there on, when I had sexual intercourse with my neighbor, I started cheating on my husband. And the way that I was cheating, I was so out of control. Then in 2014, my husband told me that I should leave where we were staying and I should come and join him because he was now working somewhere else. So I went there, then I started staying with my husband. When I was staying with my husband, I thought that maybe this spirit of lust would leave me, but I was wrong. Because when I was staying full time now with my husband, it was even worse. So in 2014, when I was now staying full time with my husband, I started dating my husband's uncle. There were 2 of them. So what I'll do is that if today I was going to have sexual intercourse with this uncle, then the following day I'll have sexual intercourse with the other one. What they'll do is that one of my husband's uncle, he would come to my house whenever my husband had gone out to work. Then we will do our thing in my house. Then the other uncle, I would make an appointment with him. We'll meet up in the bushes. Then me and him will sleep together in those bushes. A lot of people saw everything that I was doing. They saw that whenever my husband has gone out to work, I would bring in different men into the house. So they told my husband that I had been cheating on him because they felt sorry for him. But when these people told my husband the cheating that was going on, my husband did not believe them. My husband loved me so much. After that incident had happened, there was this other man who approached me. This guy, he was from Mozambique. He told me that he loved me, and I responded to him. I told him that I loved him also. I don't know what came over me because I just lied to him just like that. I told him that I was staying alone, I was not married, but yet I had a husband. After I had told him that I was staying alone, he told me that I should come over to his place so that we can start staying together. I did that. Me and this guy from Mozambique, we started staying together. So me and this guy from Mozambique, we stayed together for about 3 days. Then my husband heard news and he found out the place where I was staying with this guy from Mozambique. When he found out, my husband came to that guy's house. When my husband came over to that guy's house, he had a can of petrol in his hands and he had only one intention. He wanted to make sure that he would burn that guy's house with me and that guy inside that house. But the whole community stopped him. Then they gave him counseling. After my husband had been given counseling with the community, he took me back. But as we went back home, I thought that maybe this guy was going to be violent towards me. But it surprised me that my husband, he was actually cooled down. He didn't beat me up. He was not violent. He actually asked me nicely. He asked me, "Why are you cheating on me? What is happening to you?" When I saw that my husband was not being violent towards me because of the way that he was speaking to me, I sat down with him. Then I explained everything to him. I told him how this whole cheating saga had begun. I told him everything that I had done. He believed me and he told me that he loved me. My husband and I, we tried going everywhere. We went to different churches, but nothing changed. The situation actually became so worse, but still my husband kept on loving me. Even though he knew that I was cheating on him, still he kept on holding to our love. Me and my husband, we stayed together in this relationship and I kept on cheating on my husband. It was somewhere in 2016, around October. I went out and I cheated on my husband and I returned home. When me and my husband had sexual intercourse, my husband saw that I had infected him with an STD. We went to the clinic and my husband and we were given some medication and we were both okay. Then in October of 2016, I told my husband that I wanted to go back home. Then he told me, "It is okay, my wife, you can go back home, but please, when you go back home, make sure that you return quickly." So I went back home, but I went back to our own village. When I was there at our own village, I then told my husband that I don't love you anymore. The reason why I was telling my husband that I don't love you anymore, I can't even explain it. But at that time, I felt that I didn't love my husband anymore. My husband, when I told him that I am through and I am done with this marriage, he tried everything. He tried to beg me. He went on his knees. He asked me back. But I said no. My brother Nashi, after me and my husband, we finally got divorced. The whole thing was so worse. I started dating so many men. When I look back, it was as if now I was just a dog. If any man would come to me, I couldn't say no. I'll just say yes. Let's go and have sex. I don't even know how many men I got into bed with. I did this until 2018. In 2018, I met this certain gentleman. This man told me that he loved me. I told him that I am a cheater, but he told me that he is going to love me with all this cheating that I was doing. He told me that with time, maybe everything will be okay. He told me that, "Let go of this thing that you are doing and I will marry you." I said, "Okay, marry me," and he married me. After this man married me, we stayed together, but this behavior did not stop. What I'll do is that to him, I pretended as if I was now a changed woman, but I kept on cheating and cheating on him, and he doesn't know that all along I have been cheating on him. Right now, me and this husband of mine, we are staying together. God finally blessed us with one kid. My brother, let me just give you a brief background of the family from where I come from. Our family is quite a rich family. The family from where I come from, my mother and my father, they had 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. Then after we were born, our parents suddenly died. After our parents had died, then our other relatives took care of us until we grew up. Now the problem that we are facing is that as for the whole extended family, they are okay. Our other cousins are okay. But it is only me, my sisters, and my brother. We are the only ones in the whole family that are facing these challenges. Our family that we come from is quite a wealthy family, my brother. But the problem that me and my sisters we are facing is that once you are staying with a man, in truth, that man can promise you that they want to get married to you. They can actually raise money that you will see that this money is enough for this man to go back with me to my relatives so that they can pay the bride price for me. You can actually set the dates for your lobola negotiations and everything. But once you do this, and the moment that you see that the money that you guys have raised and it is enough, usually what happens is that just a few weeks or maybe a few months before the lobola dates that you would have set, as those dates will be approaching, you will quickly realize that in your relationship, love will be gone. There will be no more peace in your house. After that has happened, the money that you have set aside, you will just waste it. You will spend it because there will be so much disagreement between you and your man. And once that money is gone, what usually happens is that after you and your man have wasted all the money that you thought you were going to use for the lobola and everything, what happens is that there is this other uncle of mine. This uncle of mine, he has 7 girls. Those are my cousin sisters. So after you and your man have wasted all the money that you took so much time trying to save, once you waste that money, one of my uncle's daughters, they will get married, and after that they will have a very big wedding. But when you look, especially when I look on my own situation and when I look at my sisters, the situation that I am facing, that is the same situation that they are facing. A man can tell you that he has raised enough money to pay for your bride price, but that money mysteriously will just disappear. But when we look at our cousin sisters, they get married so simple and they have such big weddings. This is the problem that we are facing. There is another problem, my brother. Me and my brother and my sisters, we once thought that maybe it would be a good idea that if we just live our own private lives separate from the whole extended family. But when we tried to do this, what our uncle does is that he will look for you, and if you are ever going to speak with him on the phone, let's say that maybe you have been living a good life, the moment that you're going to speak with him on the phone, you will see that your life will become so miserable. My brother, if you look at us, you will feel pity for us, but yet we come from a very wealthy family. This is the problem that we are facing, my brother Nashi. The story is so long, and I had to cut corners so that you can just hear the whole story. And I wrote this story to you as I was in a rush. This is my problem. Please help me and tell me when you have posted. Dear brothers and sisters, right there was a message that I just received from our dear sister. Such a sad story, such a sad story. Let's meet again in the following episode.